The ban on TikTok will impact 170 million Americans who use the app. Fox 10's Lindsay Regis joins us live tonight with reaction from ASU students about this.
Yeah, this ban definitely has the students talking. Some want the app to go away. Others have strong opinions if it does go away. Within a week of introducing a bill to ban TikTok, it already passed the House. Now ASU students want to know how this bill jammed through so quickly.
I do know that they are trying to pressure TikTok to kind of sell to an American company, or because they're concerned about data issues, especially like China having some of our data and influencing people's algorithms and what they see.
That was the argument before the House vote, a topic that could impact users, including TikTok influencers.
A lot of people will be upset, but I also, because there's a lot of people that make money through there, but I also think that it would be better for society if we didn't have TikTok. Yes.
A lot of TikTok content creators that make their main income, they might lose that, and that'll be stressful for them. However, again, life moves on.
Some ASU students say they will be following this bill closely, whether they agree or disagree with this bill.
There's a lot of stuff promoted that isn't great for youth especially.
I don't believe it is something that should be banned. I feel like, especially because it's like a form of freedom of speech.
This bill still has a long way to go. Now, it passed the House today and will now head to the Senate. Reporting live, Lindsay Regis, Fox 10 News.
Turning now to our nation's Capitol building, where the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill to ban TikTok. That bill now moves on to the Senate, where it is expected to face more opposition than it did in the House. And this all comes as lawmakers on both sides are cautioning that the Chinese government could gain access to America's TikTok data, and then in turn that could create a national security threat. Despite the threat to security, some people are concerned about the potential negative economic effects of banning the app.
A lot of business owners I know, like chefs and restaurateurs, are on TikTok and they're driving sales to their restaurant through that now. And it's another form of marketing. You don't have to get in the big magazines. You don't have to get on one of the big lists to get customers anymore.
And of course, content creation has become a bit of a career for some people as well, albeit not that many people, but it does exist. And although apps like Instagram and Facebook also exist and have some of the same functions, many TikTok users say the community and the consumer base is different. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer promising a thorough review of the bill, and if it's passed, it then heads to President Biden's desk. He said that he would sign it into law.
The #1 spring vacationer expect.
China has hit back after the US House of Representatives passed a bill which could see the social media app TikTok banned in America. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson said the vote broke international trade and fair competition rules. They also accused Congress of adopting the logic of a bandit. There have been concerns for some time about China's influence over TikTok. If approved by the Senate, the bill would give social media giant's Chinese parent company ByteDance 6 months to sell its controlling stake, or the app would then be blocked in the US. Well, earlier I spoke to CBS News correspondent Jared Hill for more details.
At this point, this TikTok potential ban bill is going to go to the Senate, where it potentially has, if not a steeper uphill climb to get past, at least a longer roadway to getting past. The Senate is a body that traditionally works a lot more slowly than the House does. And we've heard from the Senate Majority Leader saying that he plans on at least taking a look at the House bill, but has not made any guarantees on whether this would get a vote in the Senate floor. We have heard from some senators saying that they think there potentially could be some changes, some amendments made to the bill that was brought over from the House, and then potentially that could get a vote, and then potentially that could get passed into law and signed into law by President Biden. But we are potentially here, and potential is the key word, a couple of months away from any of that happening, according to some of them.
And of course, we are in an election year. In many ways, this has become a bit of an election issue as well.
That's right. And so when it comes to both President Biden and former President Donald Trump, they've weighed in a bit on this issue. President Biden and the White House has said that he would sign this bill if it does, in fact, pass in the Senate. That's despite the fact that they recently, the Biden campaign recently put up their own TikTok account. Former President Donald Trump has backed away a bit from his original stance supporting the idea of banning TikTok, now saying that he doesn't think that should happen. The question, though, is going to be, if this actually does end up passing, how much of a wedge issue this could be for voters. Significantly, there are younger voters across the country who are opposed to this type of legislation. That's a group that both of these parties have been looking to really tap into. And so, again, the question is going to be if that is going to be a big enough factor for them not to turn out for either one of these candidates.
And Jared, there have been concerns amongst some small businesses, and there were some protests at Capitol Hill yesterday because, of course, as much as this is a social media site, it's also become a platform for many people to make money on.
Oh, of course. Yeah, this is not just a social media site where people connect with their friends, but this is a place where people make money, whether it is promoting their own businesses or some people have businesses that exist entirely within the space of TikTok. And so that was a group that we did see protesting in front of Capitol Hill. That was a group largely that TikTok, in fact, paid, though, to go and travel to Capitol Hill to do that protest ahead of yesterday's vote, an effort by them to try and sway lawmakers, an effort that did not work. But we have heard from the CEO of TikTok that they're going to continue trying to push the users of all likes to continue getting in contact with their members of Congress to try and, again, at least slow down this legislation.